Hello YouTube and welcome to an all new Elder Scrolls lore video. Today we'll be talking about a pretty obscure faction, the Silken Ring, a group of assassins comprised of Morag Tong, Dark Brotherhood and Shadowscale deserters and traitors. This faction is quite the rarity, so that's why we'll be talking about them today, so without any further ado, let's get into the video. So, the Silken Ring, a mysterious band of assassins that existed in Morrowind around the middle of the Second Era, during the time of the Elder Scrolls Online. They are a group comprised of ex-Morag Tong members, ex-Dark Brotherhood members and ex-members of the Shadowscales, which is a group of legendary Argonian assassins that I made a video on a while back. If you want to know more about them, I put a video in the description. These ex-assassins formed themselves a new group under the leadership of ex-Morag Tong assassin and worshipper of the Daedric prince Mephala, Dranos Velador, who secretly recruited members from existing assassin guilds before they declared themselves openly as the Silken Ring, a new assassin guild. Their patron deity would be the Daedric prince Mephala, and their kills would be undertaken in her name. The group was based in an ancient Imperial ruin, which once served as a hidden outpost for the Imperial agents of the Reman Empire. The outpost was connected to caverns deep under the outpost, and over time, once the Reman Empire had abandoned it, it became infested with Mephala's Daedric minions, after which the outpost and caverns came to be called the Cradle of Shadows. Among those minions of Mephala in the Cradle, there was a large sentient spider Daedra named Veladreth. This spider Daedra led the minions in the cavern, and when the Silken Ring moved into the caverns, in order to use it as their base of operation, this large spider Daedra was the one who served as Mephala's mouthpiece to the Silken Ring, letting them know Mephala's will. Only members of the Silken Ring know what and who she really is, calling her the Lady of Lace to outsiders. Together with Dranos Velador, she led the group of assassins, and it was through her that members of the Silken Ring obtained powerful Daedric magic to work with. The assassins of the Silken Ring wore silver masks, apparently partly made using human hair and spider silk, which resembled human heads without mouths and with narrow squinting eyes, inspired by Mephala herself. In their kills it said that they were particularly ruthless and that their assassins did not just use daggers but a whole variety of weapons and destruction magic. The manner which to join the Silken Ring was as ruthless as the assassin organization itself, as joining the Silken Ring demanded that you kill one of your friends or close comrades in front of members of the Silken Ring to prove your loyalty and trustworthiness for the group. Anyway, the Silken Ring during its existence was for the most part seen as a simple embarrassment to the guilds that had lost members to them, with many Morag Tong particularly being outraged about the existence of the Silken Ring, as it put a great shame to the Morag Tong at their place in Morrowind society. The Dark Brotherhood and the Shadowscales were also all but happy with the existence of the Silken Ring, seeing their existence as an affront to their values and rules. At first, however, the organization was not really seen as a threat to the other established assassin organizations, just seeming like a small splinter group of defectors which would eventually die out by itself. But the contrary happened. Using the allure of powers granted to the Silken Ring assassins by Mephala, the Daedric prince, the organization grew and grew as more assassins defected to the Silken Ring from the Morag Tong, the Dark Brotherhood and the Shadowscales, being seduced by the Daedric powers that were promised to them once they joined. Next to their headquarters at the Cradle of Shadows, the Silken Ring eventually held several smaller outposts across Morrowind. So they became a quite large organization and supposedly carried out kills for paying employers, but that's a bit vague. Because it also could be that they just carried out Mephala's will. Their exact objectives as a group are a bit vague in the lore. But eventually something happened. As the Silken Ring became bigger and bigger, they suddenly started targeting assassins from the Morag Tong, the Shadowscales and the Dark Brotherhood, essentially killing off the competition. And not only that, they also started targeting informants in the field of these organizations, essentially sabotaging their way of operations. They were trying to get rid of the other organizations in Morrowind, and at that point they became too much to ignore for the established assassin organizations. The Shadowscales were the first to take action, as a large group of these Argonian assassins set out to purge the Cradle of Shadows and put an end to the Silken Ring. However, the group of assassins they sent to deal with the Silken Ring was betrayed by their leader, who ended up having them ambushed and killed so that he could join the Silken Ring himself, killing his second in command personally in front of the Silken Ring as his rite of passage into their ranks. This is how you, as the player, can find the situation, with an Argonian Dark Brotherhood assassin sneaking around the Cradle of Shadows looking to eliminate the Silken Ring all by herself and find out what happened to the Ambush Shadow skills and their leader. You as the player can help her out and discover the betrayal which led to all the Shadow skills eventually being ambushed and killed, and their leader being admitted into the Silken Ring. You can then help put an end to the Silken Ring by killing their leader, Dranos Felidor, and putting down the Daedric spider, Felidreth, which renders the organization leaderless and without their connection to Mephala. With many assassins killed by you and without their leader, it's assumed that the Silken Ring is destroyed after the events of the Elder Scrolls Online, but regardless, I found this to be a pretty cool faction as it basically merged ex-assassins from all the major assassin groups that we know of, which, I don't know, I found a cool concept. Pretty neat stuff overall, and I hope that we get to see them or an organization like them comprised of deserters from multiple assassin guilds again in the future expansions or in the Elder Scrolls 6 when that eventually launches. That said, if you want to know more about the Morag Tong, I have my video on them and why they can legally kill in Morrowind unlike the other assassin groups up in the description of this video as well, just like the Shadow Skills video, so if you want to know more, check that out. And with that, before I end the video, allow me to say that I hope that you really enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you again in the next Elder Scrolls Lore video. And allow me to thank my top Patreon supporters, vocally, Mr. Bernardo Binda, Gabriel Binda, Polarized Poutine, Athena Hyotis, Henry James Locker, Doji, Fenrir, Sort of Bushido, Sarmakal, and Mr. Christmas. It is thanks to these people and all the others on screen that this channel stays alive, and for that, I am very grateful. That said, I hope to see you all in the next Elder Scrolls Lore video. Bye bye.